Colorado before this game, Deion Sanders demoted Sean Lewis, who is not going to be calling plays anymore. He wasn't calling plays in this Oregon State game. Instead, he promoted quality control analyst Pat Shermer and had Sean Lewis signaling the plays in from the sideline. So Sean Lewis is no longer calling plays for Colorado. I have some strong opinions here. What do you guys think about that move?
Well, voice your opinions real quick, Shoob.
I think that was like one of the dumbest things Deion Sanders could possibly do. That was one of the dumbest things he could possibly do. Of all the problems that Colorado has, of all the problems, offensive coordinator was the least of them. Sean Lewis is widely considered as like a very savvy offensive coordinator. And when Deion Sanders made that hire, that was kind of what raised our eyebrows. Remember, Zane, when we were talking about that over the offseason, we were like, oh, wait a minute. We think Deion Sanders, we think that this might be a gimmick. Like, we had our doubts, but we were like, okay, he hired Sean Lewis. Like, that's actually a very savvy hire. And I was like, okay, Deion might actually know what he's doing here with these hires. And we were saying that's what he needs to do is hire good coordinators. And, like, he can pull this thing off. And listen,
he's playing the blame game right now.
It's so dumb, man.
Deion Sanders legitimately came out and basically said, hey, my offensive linemen suck. I'm going to go get someone in the portal who can play. That's basically what he said. So it's like Deion's strategy is, so Deion's approach is, I'm not developing anybody. You come play for me if you're good enough. That's his strategy. I ain't going to develop. I'm just going to get the people who are good enough to win.
Y'all stick with me here. Ready? Y'all watch Hard Knocks, right? What do people probably love the most about Hard Knocks? When a player gets cut or there's a shakeup. To my knowledge, is Deion not doing some show component along with this season for every week? So it only makes sense for viewership, for drama, that for no good reason he takes his OC, who his MAC team is in the dumpster right now since he's left as head coach, and demotes him to put a failed NFL head coach as the acting OC. It's pure drama. It makes no sense. It's an absolutely stupid decision, and I don't think any school serious about the game of college football would allow any head coach to actually do this in good faith.
I think Shitter, look, when we first started, I was thinking, okay, maybe he has this going the right track. They started well. We thought maybe some of the wins were a little bit,
talking about fool's gold,
misleading. Yeah, misleading.
Yeah.
And
the chest.
But now the moves that Deion is making now in the face of adversity, I don't think he's responding well. And quite frankly, I don't know if Colorado's going to be able to take that next step. Because if you're a kid and you are entering the transfer portal and Coach Prime's like, hey, come over here, I'd be like, I'm an offensive lineman and you want me to come play for you. Didn't you just say your offensive linemen suck? Like, what happens if I make a mistake? You can just say you suck. Like, you're not going to try to develop me. You expect me to be good before I even go there. And I don't know. That's the whole approach here. Deion Sanders has not proven that he can develop talent. He's got the personality. He made good coaching hires, but now he's going back on them. And I don't know, man. I think there's too much instability. I think there's going to be a culture issue there at Colorado, especially when you got your quarterback there flexing his $100,000 watch at the ASU student section. I mean, like, that, I don't know. I just think there's character issues with Colorado.
Zan, what's going on now is what I thought would happen at the beginning of the season. And again, you were smart on that over, because what basically happened was you get married. This is the honeymoon period, and it was great for that first month. And then the first bill and mortgage came due. And now all these problems, everything's getting aired out. And this is turning into exactly what I feared it could be at Colorado. And if they don't get some of these things turned around, it's just going to be an absolute circus, like I had initially thought back when this news of his hiring broke months ago.
Like, I think this is a really bad move for so many reasons. One, you talk about players wanting to play for Deion Sanders and the problem with potentially trying to get players coming in through the transfer portal. Well, what about coaches? We talk about coordinators. A lot of Colorado's future success is dependent on how good of coordinators that Deion hires. He hired a great one in Sean Lewis. Colorado has the 28th best offense in the country. Their defense is sub 100. You know, You just like basically ran off your offensive coordinator, who's considered one of the best in the game, that is definitely going to be hired by a better program. And listen, we all know everything about Colorado. Like, if you are a coach right now, there's a lot of coaches that are out there right now that absolutely hate Colorado. They're pissed off by it. They don't like the whole gimmick, the whole show situation. Look at me. They hate that. But you know, behind the scenes, there's some coaches out there and some probably good coordinators that are like, oh my gosh, like I actually would probably consider Colorado a destination job for me, because I'll get my name on the map if I simply just coach there. And there's probably some good coordinators that probably might want to work for Deion Sanders at Colorado just so they can get that exposure. And they're going to be looking at this and saying, okay, wait a minute. So if I go to Colorado and I have success and I get demoted for having success, like Sean Lewis did, why would you want to work for that guy? If you're interested in Colorado and you're a coordinator, why would you want to go play for a coach that is going to demote you for having success? Like, Colorado's taken so many steps forward with Deion compared to last year, but this was a massive step back to me. Massive step back. Just really stupid.